All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin.
Ole, yeah, baby, we have made it to the quarterfinals since 2014. Oh my days. What a game, boys. What a game. Massive shout out to the live chat for everyone that's joining and everyone that will join in throughout the stream, and we'll see it down the track. Thank you heaps. Look, before I get into all of that, big shout out to there's a jersey promo that's going on. Some of the lads have reached out to me. Please check out the description below. You will get the replica Chelsea jerseys, almost as real, to be honest. Check out the description. You get 50% off. Plus, if you use my code as provided in the description, you get further 10% off. Perfect day to buy that jersey. Get yourself a Hakim Ziyech jersey, Timo Werner jersey, Havertz, Emerson if you want to. Get them all. It's in the description right now. Guys, before we get into it, first of all, I have to say massive, thank you to my panel for taking the time out and coming again. Nishan, my man, how you doing?
Well, I've calmed down a bit, get that professional look back and running. I'm very good, very excited. And delighted with a win, and there's a lot to talk about here, and there's so much to be excited about at this club and with this game, but I'm looking forward to it.
100%. So much to talk about. Already the live chat is going off the hook. Let's freaking go. Soccer Turtle, thanks for joining. Taha Deb, Ziyech haters, bye. We got Thompson Jones. Let's go. Yeah, baby. Yusuf is here as well, which is fantastic. Michael is here too. Man, this is buzzing. We're going to have a good time. Jonathan, the JT, the captain, little legend of this particular show. How you doing?
I think Thiago Silva's taken that mantle today, the way he was standing on the touchline. And that's those celebrations with Matt and Jorginho just epitomise what Tuchel has brought to this side. Everyone's bought into the project. And we look like a side at ease today. The wave of attacks I expected from Atletico Madrid never came. We look comfortable. I was probably less nervous than a lot of Chelsea fans, but yeah, what a win. What a performance over the two legs. Chelsea have re-announced themselves on the European stage. Into the quarterfinals we go.
100% agreed. Bar the last minute sort of chance that João Felix had, that whole game, we were in utter control. That's what surprised me the most over the two legs. Clean sheet against Atletico Madrid. We've kept them absolutely quiet and we kept control. Oh, man, I am so gassed, man. Honestly, so gassed. Taryn, how you doing?
I'm really gassed. Obviously, that's a huge win into the quarterfinals. First time since 2014. And you're thinking during the game, playing so, what can be better in the later stages of the game? Two things. A Werner goal to get that jersey, Messi had the offer on, or a late goal by one of our fringe players. And Emerson Palmieri at the back post, bottom corner. Marcus Alonso.
What a finish.
Love to see it.
What a finish.
I don't need to be calm. I'm really gassed. But, just level-headed a little bit. We're just into the quarterfinals. But yeah, Chelsea back on the European stage. Arsenal Spurs in the mud. Love to see it. Let's go.
Brilliant. Look, you know what? We probably could have scored a lot more in that second half right at the end where Atletico were pushing hard. We had quite a few opportunities to score goals in the counter. But look, I'm happy with the 2-0 victory. I mean, 3-0 in aggregate against Atletico Madrid. Wow. I just need to change something. I always forget to do this. I always have this preview on when it's actually a review. So let's just quickly change that.
That's why.
Just too excited.
I predicted 2-0 Chelsea win, by the way, just before we switch over.
You did.
You said 2-1.
I did say
you said 2-1.
I don't want to talk, to be honest.
I did say either a 0 or a 1-0 victory for us with Jack Benson and Jonathan yesterday. But guys, let's get straight into this. But before we do the lineups and whatnot, there's so much to talk about. I just need to settle down a bit. Let's just go through the ranks now. Nishal, from yourself, some initial reactions for that particular match.
How can you not be delighted and ecstatic with that result? La Liga leaders needing to chase a win, needing to come back fighting, and we completely neutralised them again. The game plan was executed to perfection. We had no Mason Mount, we had no Thiago Silva, we had no Jorginho, we had no Tammy Abraham. We were missing 4 key players against a full-strength squad, and we still came out, dominated that game, blew them away. we were outstanding, and that is the best performance I've seen under Thomas Tuchel, and the best performance this season, no doubt about it. Because when have we seen times this season where not only have we beaten a top six or a big European side, but we have dominated them, we've played them out of the park, we've kept them quiet, we've barely given them a sniff of goal. That is prime vintage Chelsea. And my main takeaway from that is I saw this game as being decisive not only in our season, but our Champions League campaign. This is the game and the result that defines our season. We can go on. We can push. We have the right mentality, the right players, the right philosophy. We're in the perfect situation. We beat Atletico Madrid. We're in the quarterfinals. I don't see why we can't win the whole thing. Look at Munich in 2012, a beautiful shirt I'm wearing today. We got beat Napoli when no one believed in us. We beat Benfica when no one believed in us. We beat Barcelona, Bayern Munich when no one believed in us. We had another tough test tonight against Atletico Madrid. We've got over one of the toughest hurdles we could come up against. I think and I know that this team, we can win it. Give me Bayern Munich, give me Porto, anyone. We have a chance of winning the Champions League for a second time.
Look, we got to believe. We 100% have to believe. I do want to stay away from Bayern Munich. So I just want to. I don't want to get them next up. They won. I haven't checked the scores. Did they win their match? Yeah, they would have won. Of course, they would have won. Jonathan, my man, some initial thoughts.
Yeah, I'm ecstatic. It's a massive night for Chelsea, and we've passed with flying colours. As I said earlier, Tuchel's come in, completely changed the mentality of this squad. And there was a few articles I've read over the last few days. And one of the key takeaways I've taken away from some of these journalists is that they say every player goes home from training thinking that they can start in the next game. And it's that kind of mindset and mentality that has all of these all these players playing to their potential and their maximum, because they know that to get into this side, they have to perform. And yeah, just everything Tuchel has touched has turned to gold, really. You can't ask for much more as a Chelsea fan over these two legs. We've utterly dominated a side who are fantastic in competition football because of their style. We never allowed them to come out in the second half and attack us and try and get the goals that they needed. Other than that Felix chance, as you touched on earlier, Miz, where were the chances? Where was the onslaught? And then when we needed him, Mendy came up with the save. So everyone does their job when they need to. And two stand-up performances for me today before we kind of go on to the performances later in the show, because Rudiger, for me, just epitomised what everything that Atletico Madrid normally do. He got into his heads. He got Suarez off the pitch by sort of 56, 57 minutes because of how he just dominated him throughout the game. So aggressive in his play. And then what happens at corners every single time? He's annoying, attacking corners and defending them. Savic stupidly, elbowed him. And yes, you can say
Rudiger takes full advantage of that as well.
At the end of the day,
he's such a hustler.
They're masters of things like this at Atletico Madrid, and we've done them at their own game. But not just that. Kante today, the other stand-up performer for me, absolutely superb in the position he should be playing, and that's what I want to emphasise. But yeah, today was, as I said, us re-announcing ourselves as a European force under Tuchel. We just look so good with and without the ball. And yeah, other than Bayern Munich, Man City, who are fantastic teams, I'm confident that if we can, we're going to see the draw on Friday, quarterfinals and semi-finals. Let's go, because look, we can take on anyone and give them a good game.
I agree. We can definitely give anyone a good game, and how balanced and structured we are. We didn't have Mason Mount. We didn't have Jorginho. Andres Christensen late in that particular sort of situation was pulled off that match. So even then, these players just come in and they understand the whole position. They know their role in the team and they come in and do the job. I'm so thrilled by this particular team. And honestly, we're gonna spend a lot of time today talking about every single one of these players, and obviously Thomas Tuchel as well. But first of all, Taryn, some of your initial thoughts, my man.
Yeah, I just like touched on the fact that, so many key players are missing. Mason Mount, arguably our best player this season. Jorginho, really key in those big games, controlled them with his experience. Andreas Christensen, who's been arguably one of our best defenders since he's come into the side, just dropped out with illness. Olivier Giroud, I don't know why he wasn't starting. But without all these key players in the team, the way other players, the French players who aren't getting many minutes, they're slotting in and still playing to this high level against the likes of Luis Suarez, Joao Felix, all these key big names in Europe, and they're just playing amazing. But yeah, the balance in our team, I think, is amazing at the minute. We don't look under threat in defence, and when we're going forward, we may not be creating as many chances in an open game where it's kind of even at the minute, but still we're playing really well with the ball. Glenn Hoddle on the BT Sport TV kind of touched on it a little bit, saying that we are really good defensively, but we're not just a team who sits back, Sean Dyche football, just, sucking up all the pressure and just playing one player. We're also playing really well in the final third. And as a Chelsea fan, it's just really nice to see how it's a nice balance at the minute. The more goals will come later on. But today, I thought we looked really good in the final third. I can't really fault our performance at all today. As Jonathan said, we didn't concede any chances. The Joao Felix one, that got Glenn Hoddle off his seat. And for a chance so little for the commentators to kind of jump on that out of all the other shots in the game, I thought that was just incredible. Kurt Zouma, I think, is underrated. He played really well today. His pace, his determination, his tenacity on the ball. When players are coming in, and we're just crediting the other players, we need to credit the kind of players who got under the radar a little bit in the system. Yeah. And Zouma was just.
And let's
really
face it, Taryn, Zouma had a question mark in that middle part of the CB, but he came in and he did a mad job.
Yeah, I was critiquing before the game, like a little bit. It's understandable. He's come in. Maybe he didn't perform as well as he should have been against Southampton, but he proved to Tuchel. There's so many players that are coming into this team and proving that they should be in the team. And it's a shame we only have 11 players that can start every game, because there's probably 14 or 15, 16 players who deserve to start every game. But yeah, it's really interesting, the competition in the team. And I'm just really excited to go into the quarterfinals. Hopefully we can get Porto or Dortmund. I'm not looking to get Bayern Munich. I know it'll be a really interesting game. And it'll be good to get Man City, but I want Dortmund or Porto. But yeah, let's just dissect the game a little bit more, get some of these player performances in this.
100%. Really good commentary from Shay Obero. Thank you for joining Shrey. And thank you to everyone. We've already got nearly 60 people live in this show. Thank you heaps, guys. Take a moment to smash that like button first of all. Please check out the promo in the description. There's a jersey. There's jerseys that are getting given away for very good discounted prices. Check out the description for the link, and you can see it in the banner as well. 50% off plus with the code used. My code used, you can get further 10%. Honestly, these are really, really good jerseys, and today is the time to buy those jerseys. But yeah, going back to to this particular match, honestly, I'm so thrilled, so thrilled. Going back to this particular comment from Shrey Obro, to beat Simeone 2 times in this fashion shows what a great tactician Tuchel is. Great management and structure by him. Up the Blues. I mean, I'm lost for words. I don't know what else to say about Thomas Tuchel. I mean, let's get straight into this lineup. Hopefully that'll shape up our conversation a little bit more. Nishal, obviously there was that issue with Andres Christensen just before the kickoff being left, being ill. Seems like he's got some sort of a virus. I'm not sure if it's the disease that's gone around, but I hope it's not. But some sort of virus. He was sort of taken out. Zouma comes in. But when you look at that lineup, I mean, it's fairly attacking up front. Ziyech, Werner, Havertz in the middle, Kovacic and Kante obviously forced due to Jorginho being out. But I really like that lineup. Besides, obviously, my concerns with Zouma being in the middle and probably, say, Calamuton-Odoi maybe just missing out when maybe he should have started. But looking back now, I honestly trust everything. And this is what I said. I trust everything that Thomas Tuchel does. And obviously, Ziyech paid dividends. But what were your thoughts when you looked at this lineup?
Kurt Zouma being there was the one who stood out to me, of course. I'm very unfortunate Andreas Christensen missed out. We found out very late on he woke up with a fever, nothing too serious, tested negative for that virus, so nothing too bad. But it was a bit worrying where we had our 3 centre-backs, our back 3, but we had Thiago Silva injured and Christensen injured, so we had no other options. So that did concern me a bit, but that was out of our hands. Like I said, a very attacking lineup, and there were a lot of question marks. Zouma coming in, Alonso getting a nod at left wing back. I'll be honest, and we had this debate last time, I wasn't wanting to see Marcus Alonso play, but credit where credit's due, he was phenomenal at wing back. Oh yeah,
I remember you want to chill. I remember you want to chill.
Yeah, and I stand by my reasoning. Yeah. But Alonso really impressed me today, and then our front 3 as well. Ziyech in particular had a huge point to prove, because many people, including myself, have been critical of him, and rightly so, because he's not been good enough. But to come in today, maybe there were question marks about, obviously not for me, I'm always accepting the lineup, but there were question marks about why Callum Hudson-Odoi wasn't starting on the wing, why Olivier Giroud wasn't starting up top. But those 3 playing together, Ziyech, Havertz and Werner, they just understand each other, and they all got that attacking mentality. And when they're all in form and they all know what they want to do, like we saw today, they're unstoppable. So very attacking lineup. It was interesting to see how they came up against Atletico's lineup as well. A bit of a change shape. to 4-4-2, which we've seen of them before. Luis Suarez and João Felix up front. And the thing is, I saw this lineup and I was very worried. Not worried that we do badly, but it's a really strong lineup. But if you look at this lineup and then compare them to the 90 minutes, they were underwhelming. And, you know, we can stand there and criticise them and say this. But for a team of Atletico's pedigree, where they've done so well in Europe, you know, they came to Anfield last season and played Liverpool out the park in over 2 hours. For a team at Atletico to come here, you know, chasing a defeat and confident, let's be honest, of being able to restore that, they were really underwhelming and a real shame. But, you know, they can focus on La Liga, secure the title. But our lineup, perfect. That's all I can say.
100%, man. Well said, Jack. This is Jack's comment. Jack Benson, Atletico Madrid fan, who we did the preview with Jonathan and Taryn as well. Shame my prediction didn't come off, but credit to your press. We had no idea how to beat it. There you go. Straight from an Atletico Madrid fan right there. Jonathan, my bro, let's compare the two. As Nishal was saying, this lineup from Atletico Madrid, when I looked at it, I was like, oh my days, they are not mucking around. They are here. They're here to really, really press us. Obviously, this is our lineup and our bench as well. When you looked at both the lineups, what were your thoughts? I mean, did you think in your wildest dream that we were going to control them in that manner? We pretty much manhandled them, Jonathan. We manhandled them.
Love that little word there. Fantastic name. But yeah, I think, look, I was kind of set up for this lineup in my head because obviously Jack in the preview pretty much had predicted that lineup, other than I think Rudiger for Lamar in centre midfield. So I felt like this, you know, would be fairly spot on because he was fairly spot on with the first leg, to be fair, in what Jack said. And to be fair, great scouting from you because in both videos that we did the preview, he spoke really well and kind of gave us a really good insight. And as I said, he kind of said how they would play. They just didn't live up to the expectation. We smothered them. And I go back to Rudiger. First few minutes, he was absolutely all over Suarez and every other player. You've got Kovacic, Kante that were trying to smother every time they got in the ball in the midfield. So, yeah, we just didn't ever let them breathe. They had sort of a 5-minute spell at the start of the game where they looked a bit dangerous. They were pinging the ball around and they had players with good movement. But
it started with a frenetic pace, huh?
It did. And then we just kind of said, hang on a second. Let's just get our foot on the ball. Let's just calm this down. We're the guys that are going to take this game and have the ascendancy. And Tuchel, you know, with our style and with our setup, we are obviously, you know, the way we control games in our system. It just seems that, and I've touched on this before, because every player knows in which position they play, this is what's expected of you. You can change 4 or 5 players and the basis of the team is still going to be there. And the methodology for the manager is still going to be there. So, yeah, there was, 4 or 5 changes, completely different to the lineups that we predicted because some of them were forced, obviously, with Christensen. But, yeah, it just seems that these players know exactly what's needed of them. And today, yeah, I mean, no shock that we controlled them, but the fact that we did it with such ease was a little bit surprising because we just never really looked in trouble. So, yeah, the lineup certainly did, you know, throw some question marks in my head. But as, you know, we've all said before, Tuchel, you know, we have to trust him. He hasn't really made any mistakes. And the ones he has have led to draws. So, look, we've got to trust Tuchel. And, you know, the decisions he made, Ziyech being one of them, he ends up getting the first goal. So, we can't really complain looking back now at that lineup because it's the one that has beaten Atletico Madrid 2-0.
Yeah. And we cannot complain about Thomas Tuchel. That's it. End of discussion, pretty much. Massive shout out. 133 people on right now enjoying this victory with us. I am so gassed. Keep building it, guys. Smash that like button. Get it to 100 likes. Taryn, my boy, talk to me about these, you know, your thoughts on the lineup. I mean, seriously, Werner, you know what? Let's take a little bit of time. You are a massive advocate for Timo Werner. And I know we've been a bit critical about Timo Werner with his, well, I have been bad, his first touch and whatnot. But today he was stupendous. His quality was, he terrorized that back line. He terrorized that back line of Atletico Madrid, create havoc. But yeah, your thoughts, my boy, on this particular lineup and how we sort of managed Atletico Madrid as well with this lineup.
Yeah, Nishal said it perfectly that Kurt Zouma was probably the biggest shock. I know Yeah, the last minute Christensen pulled out, and that was probably the biggest shock to the system for a lot of Chelsea fans. But he came in and did well. Another shock for me was probably Hakim Ziyech coming in. I didn't really predict him to come in, but in the end, a really smart choice by Tuchel. When he came in, I thought, UCL pedigree, played at semi-finals for Ajax, played a lot, played against Chelsea last year. He knows his competition inside and out. He knows how you need to play to get wins, how you need to grind out wins in the knockout stages. He played really well. Ziyech, we'll get onto him later. But yeah, Werner, I can't say much more about Werner. I always gas him up all the time on these streams, not just because, I just maybe gas up one player just to get some attention. I really think Werner does a lot for this team. He was always pressing. He actually played almost like a target man today when we had to break out the press and kind of play hard. He was up against, Savic and Jimenez, really fighting and proving his physicality. Against Leeds, I felt like we missed Werner, we missed his tenacity, we missed his pressing, we missed his pace. And he really came good against Atletico. I'm really happy with him. He's played against Spurs last year in the knockout stages. He played amazing at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. He knows what this competition is about as well. All the lineup choices I felt were perfect from Tuchel, and you can't really deny anything he's putting out. I was worried with some of the choices in the lineup, but this is Thomas Tuchel. As Jonathan said, some of his lineups his bad lineups have come up in draws. So I know all of his lineups, I really trust them amazingly well, and they're all coming really good. And there's nothing bad I can say about Tuchel at the minute. He keeps impressing me more and more. He's just come into a job. He's beat Atletico twice, beat Liverpool, he's beat Everton, he's beat Spurs. It's just getting better and better for Tuchel. And there's lineups. I'm just sitting back, like in my chair, like Jonathan might say, just sit back and relax. Let Tuchel do his thing. Let him do his thing. We'll just sit back and be like, do you know what, Thomas Tuchel, you got under control, mate. The German professor, he's got under control. So yeah, really happy with the lineup, Miz, and the pivot were really good. I felt like they controlled the game really well. But yeah, let's not get into the performances of the players too much. Yeah, the lineup was really good.
Brilliant. Maldini's middle finger. Do not forget, we rode our luck. It is a 2012 back again. You never know. It might be back again, 2012. We could just have that. There's a lot of things. There's a really good Twitter account, goes by the name CFC Dubois. I've had him in our channel. He's gone around putting a whole heap of different things that have happened back in that particular year in 2012, where a manager was sacked, young manager was sacked, and then a new manager came in, and then Liverpool losing back-to-back home matches or something, and many other things that are sort of lined up. So you never know. Maybe history repeating itself. Boys, let's take a moment now before we talk about the goal and whatnot. Let's take a moment now to talk about the match in itself. I'll go to Jonathan this time first up. Jonathan, I thought it was really well played by Thomas Tuchel. The way he didn't just sit back, as we've all mentioned in the beginning stages. Atletico Madrid was coming at us. We sort of rode that particular wave, and then after that, put the foot down, really started playing football, and really got at them. We played with possession. We played really well in counter-attacks, especially the Kante and Kovacic pivot in the middle really controlled a lot of things. Defensively, we looked so strong. Suarez had to be subbed off. That's how strong we looked. We kept him so quiet. Where Diego Simeone just said to Suarez, just get the hell out of here. You know what I mean? Like, you're not doing what you're meant to be doing. So overall, so good. We could have had more goals. Obviously, that really great counter Ziyech scored, which we'll talk about. But fantastic performance from Thomas Tuchel. 2 legs over Atletico Madrid. Clean sheet. I mean, what more can we say about this man?
Yeah, I don't want to get too gassed up, I'd say, but tactical masterclass in this game. And just like it was in the first leg, a moment of individual quality in the first leg because we were good, but we didn't really have that attacking quality. This game, though, we had the chances. We didn't quite finish them when we needed to. A goal early on in the second half would have put things to bed a little bit easier. But yeah, we certainly created the chances. And obviously, the more they came out and tried to play and try and be more attacking, the more the space in behind kind of was left there. And obviously Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi possibly could have come on a little bit earlier, as I said, to try and kill the game. But the thing is, we look so comfortable at 1-0. We can't really complain about Tuchel because, other teams, 1-0 was never easy. They get an away goal and suddenly they just need a second and it would have been real trouble. But we just look so calm and confident. Every substitution that Simeone made, we countered. It didn't work because our structure and our setup is just there. The press we had throughout the entire game, they didn't know what to do. And it led to them, doing what, they do to other teams, as I said earlier, getting angry and lashing out. And, whilst, we go back to the start of the game, we're a bit lucky, I'd say, with Azpilicueta, nearly giving away a penalty. That makes it a completely different ball game if they get a penalty that early on. But other than that, it was a near perfect performance. It's probably that and the fact we allowed Felix's shot with 5 minutes left. That's the only two things I'd have to complain about. It was flawless tonight. And again, that stems from Tuchel. And what he's done mid-season. A few WhatsApp groups from some mates, and they were saying, "Oh, this attack is really frustrating." And I'm saying to them, "Well, if we're looking this good and this comfortable on the ball and the way we control games, what's going to happen when we have an attack that's firing? We are going to be even better." So the fact we look so good and there's still so much to improve on, we haven't really got a goal scorer yet. When we do get that, these nights are even more comfortable because then we could be 2-3-0 up and not have to worry about is an away goal going to cost us. So, yeah, all praise to the Most High, I'd say, in Tuchel. So, yeah, fantastic from him. Everything, as I said, is touch and goal, as I said earlier. So, yeah, really happy. And to touch on the first goal and also the way we played, I wanted us to be a bit attacking in this game. Cautious, but attacking. We did that. And I touched on it earlier on Twitter about how Atletico Madrid have been conceding goals, crosses and pullbacks into the box. There's always going to be a free man. Can we get a man in the right position? And Ziyech was there to finish, albeit a little bit fortuitously going under our black. But yeah, that was a fantastic time to score. And we set ourselves up fantastically. So the rest, Kante. He was saying about was there three on the pitch? Kante was absolutely everywhere today. And yeah, absolutely superb.
This comment here from Dennis. Shout out to Dennis. 70% of the earth is covered by water and the rest is covered by content. Honestly, I tweeted in the second half that give this man a new contract, make him a lifetime contract player for Chelsea. He was just everywhere. He intercepted everything, destroyed everything. Any sniff of a chance I think Madrid thought they would have had, Kante was there to demolish that. Zayn Shah, thank you, my man, for joining. I bet you're glad you bought that Ziyech jersey, Miz. Honestly, I bought that Ziyech jersey a good 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. It's on the way. I got that email recently saying that it is on the way. And obviously with the pandemic, everything is a bit slow. So I'm really, really glad about that. Let's now talk about that goal. I want to go to you, Nishal. I've got it all set up here. That goal particularly happened off the back of the Atletico Madrid free kick. I believe they had the free kick somewhere in this particular zone. And I don't know, I think they took it short. Werner came in to block the cross from a particular player here. I think he might have got a little bit of a touch where then Kante ends up getting the ball. He then passes, I believe, to Havertz, who then releases Werner. Havertz's pass from here releases Werner. And then Werner does so well around this space. And Ziyech tracks the run, comes into the middle, whips in a brilliant pass to Ziyech, and then Ziyech, albeit it wasn't the cleanest touch, but great goal. When you saw that transpire right in front of you, Nishal, how'd you feel? What was going through your mind?
I'll tell you what, the credit goes to Timo Werner in the first place because he made a brilliant block from the cross against Atletico Madrid, diverted the cross, and then it came out. We were on the break, and it was just pitch perfect. Havertz to Werner, acres of space, man in the middle. And something I complained about in the Leeds game was not having a target man because we were playing a false nine or whatever you want to say it was. We didn't have that player in the middle of a box ready to pounce on chances. But Ziyech made a brilliant run. Werner straight through, one for cross. Wasn't a cleanest finish, but at the end of the day, who cares? Ziyech scoring. We've needed that for so long because he's not performed. He's not been at his game and he's not shown what he's capable of. It's been months, I think, since Sheffield United in November, since we've really seen him play well. But today, that was marvellous. That was what Ziyech can do. Break in, cool, calm finish, finding the space, and just brilliant teamwork. When I said they're all in tune, Havertz, Werner, Ziyech, that's what you want from your attack. And we talk about how maybe we're not scoring enough goals, we don't have that cutting edge. When we get the ball like that, bear in mind, we won it back in our own third. And we broke up the pitch within about 15 seconds and we scored. That is the counter-attack he won. Brings me back to Pulisic against Man City in the restart game back in June. That sort of energy, that sort of drive, that's what you need from Chelsea when you've got a player as smart as Werner, as clever as Havertz, and then, as clinical as Ziyech. But it was a beautiful goal and something that really gave us control of the game.
Yeah, 100% agreed. And you know what, Nishal, after that goal, you know what? Here's a little funny story that I want to share. Literally 30 seconds before he scored, I tweeted out, and how many mistimed passes has Ziyech made in this particular half? I mean, his passing accuracy must be so low. And literally 30 seconds later, he scored, and everyone was like, really aged well, this one. But after he scored that goal, Taryn, I want to talk to you now. After he scored that goal, he really started to come into that game. Yes, there was still a bit of off passing here and there, but that's Ziyech, I suppose. He goes for those risky passes. But he started to put, in the second half especially, he started to put Timo Werner behind the defense quite a few times, getting him into sort of, wide areas, one-on-one sort of opportunities. And that real Ziyech was coming in, and then he had that bender of a shot in the second half, which I believe Jan Oblak just sort of palmed it over. Do you think this could be the catalyst where we can start seeing Ziyech slowly coming back? Because I feel like he is a player that is full of arrogance, but at the same time, it's quality arrogance. It's the kind of arrogance that you like. But at the same time, you can tell deep down that he's a player that he wants to be loved as well. Like, he wants to be loved by the fans. And at this time, obviously, a lot of fans have been a bit critical about him. So do you think this could be the catalyst for him to really start shooting off?
Yeah, I think it's been a steady growth from Ziyech since the Tuchel's come in. I feel like he's kind of got better in every game, maybe. But this game, I think it's important to have confidence when maybe you're not starting every game. And a game like this where he scored not the winning goal, but a really important goal. And he's played a lot of quality balls behind Werner, which I felt he should have done better with. Then I feel like that's going to give him confidence to go into the later weeks. Because if we have a fully confident Hakim Ziyech in our team that's whipping in them balls, that's playing them balls in behind, that's controlling the game from the attacking eighth position, that's going to do wonders for this team. And I'm really happy for Ziyech because I really want him to do well at Chelsea. And he's done a lot for the club already, the Sheffield United game, the Burnley game. And I just hope he can keep on going on and on. And the goal, a little bit more on the goal. I think it's really ironic that my guy, Timo Werner, Jonathan's guy Havertz, and Miz, your guy Ziyech, all linked up in a perfect counter-attack to destroy the trio. I'm really sorry, Michelle.
There's no guy.
We don't know who your guy is yet. You're going to have to tell.
Everyone's my guy.
You're a Chelsea guy. You're in it as well. You're Chelsea. So all four of us connected there. Perfect goal. An amazing finish at the end. And yeah, that counter-attack, every single pass in that counter-attack was perfect. Havertz, if he would have played it along the floor, I feel like I would have got intercepted. A greatly timed lofted pass to Werner. I think the timing of the run was really well. It was in the way he waited until he made the pass. It was perfect. Ziyech, a great finish on his right foot, must I add, against Jan Oblak. Perfect goal. A perfect goal in a counter-attack. That's the kind of goals I like to see. We've seen a lot of times Tuchel maybe played like that, then we missed the finish at the end. So I'm really happy with that goal, and hopefully Ziyech can continue because, yeah, he played well today. And I was a bit wary of him in that attacking eight position. And he showed his quality, his Champions League pedigree, his quality. And I really want him to do well. So, yeah, let's go. It's a great goal.
Massive shout out to Rabona TV. Rabona TV in the house, appreciating Chelsea victory. Tuchel is truth. I recently did a video with Rabona TV. Please go out and check that out. He is an absolute footballing intellect. Please, he's gotten close to 200,000 subscribers. I'm pretty sure you guys have all subscribed. But if you haven't, please go out, check out Rabona TV and subscribe. Massive shout out to Rabona TV. Guys, let's talk about player performances. Time to talk about player performances. Let's go from the beginning. Nishal Mendy. Mendy was immense. Enough talking about this number one keeper, that keeper, Donnarumma, is he free? Can we get him? This and that. I think we need to start talking about Mendy seriously. I feel like this guy is Chelsea number one, and he deserves to be Chelsea number one. When he was called upon today, Nishal, he stood up. That one chance from João Felix where our defense was opened up a little bit, but Mendy stood strong. And throughout this Thomas Tuchel era, bar a couple of sort of little incidences here and there of his, passing and whatnot from the back, he's been colossus. I mean, what do you feel about Mendy?
I mean, Mendy was superb today. He didn't have as much to do, let's be honest, but when he's called upon and when he has those moments where he needs to turn up and save the team, he does that. But Felix chance right at the end from point blank range, and he manages to get that over the goal. Commanding the box, also dealing with a high press. We saw that a lot of times. And we've seen in the past, I think, what my criticism of Mendy is, that sometimes he rushes and just kicks the ball out for throwing. Sometimes his communication isn't as good. But today against the press, he was flawless. He was not fazed at all by the press. And having a goalkeeper there, not only a goalkeeper who's confident in themselves, but a goalkeeper who generates confidence from the fan and the teams, because, with all due respect to his predecessor in the number one, Kepa, there was a lot of controversy and a lot of just tough sentiments in the fact that we weren't as confident with him. But we have a goalkeeper like Mendy. He doesn't need to be making 10, 20 flashy saves every game. That's not what we need for a goalkeeper. What we need from a goalkeeper is someone to trust and someone to know that when the ball comes and when they are called upon, whether it's in the first second or the last second, they will deliver and they will perform. And he did that today perfectly, really commanding the box, was excellent, controlling that, communication as well. And against a very dangerous Atletico Madrid side, especially one who, as I said, needed to go for it. So it was never going to be an easy 90 minutes. But Edouard Mendy, fantastic. And, like we say, we have the talks about, do we need another world-class goalkeeper? Do we need Gianluigi Donnarumma? Maybe. I don't know. I think that this isn't the time to reevaluate. You'll get a different reply after beating Atletico. You'll get a different reply after losing to Leicester. For now, let's appreciate Mendy. But we've brought him in. We've fixed our goalkeeper problem, long-term or short-term, debatable. But we've brought in a goalkeeper you can really trust and we can really rely on. But Mendy was outstanding tonight.
100% agree. Shout out to Michael. Bro, Mendy was different gravy when he was called upon. 100%. The man was immense. He was so commanding in that box. I was never ever one bit scared with him being between the box. Honestly, between the sticks, it's been immense. Jonathan, we need to really praise this guy, Rudiger. Antonio, the hustler, Rudiger, demands respect from everyone in social media, in whatever platform there is. He's been getting so much heat during that Frank Lampard era, and a whole heap of everyone sort of got at the back of him once Frank Lampard got sacked, and obviously that article came out sort of brandishing him as one of the main contributors for Frank to be sacked. Today the commentator himself said it midway through the game, and he was saying, I don't understand why Frank never used him. He's, clearly looks like one of the best defenders that Chelsea has. And I don't want to talk too much about Frank Lampard. I want to talk about Antonio Rudiger here, Jonathan. Since Tuchel has come in, Tuchel 100% is backing Rudiger, completely has all confidence with him. But Rudiger has been rewarding him with top-notch quality performances as well, especially today's one. Jonathan, I felt like he was the boss. He was the boss at the back today. How do you feel about his game?
He set an early tempo where he was going to be aggressive. He was going to get tight to every single player, not allow them space, time to move, to turn. And it paid off. As I said, Suarez went off in the second half. They brought on Dembele, didn't get anywhere either. I say, because he's so aggressive and he's just so, I don't know, undimensional. I'm trying to think of the word.
Unorthodox.
Yeah, unorthodox is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, I'm just still so excited. I'm still mincing my words 37 minutes into the stream. But yeah, look, Rudiger was written off by a lot of people, me included, in a 4. And, in the last few years, he hasn't been as good as we would hope. Tuchel was an admirer of Rudiger, and he's clearly got faith in him. And it just shows when a manager backs you and when you've got a point to prove, players like Rudiger, when they feel like they have to show how good they are, he's coming under Tuchel in this back 3 and been absolutely superb. Because one-on-one, because he gets so tight to players, because he does things off the ball that players don't like, because he leaves his foot in, he gets into players' minds. And that's exactly what you would expect of a normal Atletico Madrid side. So, yeah, what he did today on a Champions League night, which normally it's harder to because you normally get more yellow cards. There's normally more free kicks, but everything he did was flawless on and off the ball. So, the way he's tracking, the way he's pressing players as well, even comes out.
How much do you love his hustle though, Jonathan? How much do you love that mongrel that he wants to fight?
It's that naughtiness that is.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Really, yeah, it's a great trait to have because you hate playing against it. When you've got someone who's constantly kicking at you, who's constantly, as soon as you got the ball, this guy's going to be behind me again. And as I said, Suarez over the course of the 2 games must be, waiting to get back to Spain to play against.
Suarez got destroyed. He got destroyed.
Yeah, they are not used to this. And again, the BT, for once, they made some good points today about Bayern Munich are the only team that have pressed Atletico Madrid like this. And obviously, Bayern won both games convincingly. This sort of high-intensity game, they are not used to. And the way we took the game to Atletico Madrid in both games was something that they just couldn't cope with. But yeah, Rudiger just sets the tempo early on. The first challenge is always tough. He always leaves a bit on a player, and when you set that kind of tempo and that example at the start of the game, it bodes well. So yeah, Rudiger for me today was absolutely superb.
Champion performance from Rudiger. I loved it. As soon as he got that elbow, he just went, oh my days, his like chest all broken up. He's going to go to the surgery right now. I loved it. He contributed to that red card. Brilliant play. I love it. I want more.
It's what Atletico Madrid have done for years. And look, it's violent conduct. As much as you can say it's soft, you can say it's not a red card. People
can't
debate
elbow someone.
People debate the penalty, the fact that Azpilicueta got away with one. So yeah, look. Things happen, and sometimes you have to get the rub of the green. And today, we've made our own luck today, in my opinion, because of how good we've been over the two legs, because we've been positive, because we've been the team that wants to play and been in an ascendancy. Yeah, we've been rewarded over the two legs. Generally, the better side always wins, and that's exactly what happened tonight.
100% agree. Taryn, my boy, let's talk about Zouma. Coach Zouma was, came in late. Obviously, Christensen probably was lined up to play this match. Zouma came in, and I must say, he was very solid. He was colossus at times, and he did very well in the middle. At times, looked a bit shaky, didn't want the ball, wanted to just pass it back and just get the ball away from me. As the game sort of grew on, he got into the confidence, and late in the second half, his defensive qualities really showed as well. Look, this is what I like, Taryn. Every single one of our centre-backs, whenever they're getting called upon, they're doing a job. Every single player looks so hungry. And this is what Thomas Tuchel said. I want to make Chelsea the hardest team to play. Every player is hungry. What were your thoughts on Kurt Zouma?
I can't fault Zouma at all. I seriously can't think of anything that I can fault about him today. But I'm going to try and dissect his performance a little bit more. I think that he played really well, and he was tracking the run that in the centre of the pitch, you also have to... There's a lot of runs in behind. We saw Christensen against Mane a lot of times. He was getting behind, so he needed to be on his A game. He couldn't be lacking concentration, and he was flawless, as I mentioned before. He was just not making any errors. Superb, controlled the middle of the pitch really well from the centre. But like his sweeper play in the middle maybe wasn't amazing with his ball progression, but he kept it simple. Didn't leave too much on him with moving the ball. He kind of left that to Rudiger and Azpi and a centre mids with a little one-touch passing. But I also thought his passes were really fluid. He didn't go for the blockbuster, Thiago Silva, long diagonal, 50, 60-yard diagonal. He kept it simple, and he didn't lose the ball. He progressed from the middle of the pitch, helped us out of the press. When they were coming on to us early in the game, Lodi and Sal Niguez and Koke were really coming at us. He was playing it simple and letting Kova kind of break out of that. And Kante, I really rated that. There was running behind from Felix. He swept that really well. He let it go for a goal kick. He got his body in front, and after it kind of went out, I saw his face, and he was just like, he was really into the game and really fierce, and I thought that was really good from him. Yeah, he deputized. I'm sure it must have been last minute that he came in for Christensen. I'm sure he must have been preparing for that game Sunday, I reckon. So yeah, for him to come in such short notice and perform so well, all credits to Zouma. And he's put his place back in the team. I actually prefer him playing maybe in the centre than the left. I feel like against a team like this, he was winning a lot of headers as well, getting tight to Suarez. We needed to get tight to Suarez. If you let Suarez control with his chest and play it to Felix, play it to Carrasco, let them get into the game, it's going to cause a lot of issues for us in the defensive third. So he really prevented that a lot when they were playing long balls. I really rated that. And Zouma, flawless today, really well. Didn't see any errors. His positional play was superb. The way he moved the ball, superb. So flawless from Zouma today. Really impressed. Hopefully he can continue, and consistency is key for him.
100% agreed. Manhandle CFC. I don't know who this guy is, but Manhandle CFC commenting. Tuchel on reaching the quarterfinals. We are in the draw, and I'm pretty sure no one wants to play against us. Oh, man, I am gassed. He's making us feel like, be scared. Be really, really scared if you're drawn against us. I am planning, let's see if we can get a team organized. We might do that live draw in this channel. What other draw is happening? We'll do a particular show, see everyone, see who we get matched up against that. Nishal, let's talk about Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta for me, once again, just like every other game, this guy never performs poorly. He's always giving like a 7s or an 8, 7.5s. I do want to say one thing though. I think that was a penalty, Nishal. I feel that was a penalty, and he got away with it.
It's not think. It was a penalty. As soon as I saw it, I knew it was a penalty. And I watch games as a Chelsea fan. That's natural. But when I see a refereeing decision, whether I'm going there supporting as a fan, I'm writing about it as a journalist, I will say what I see. That was a clear penalty, and there's nothing you can dispute about that. I'm really shocked VAR didn't give it, let alone check it. I don't know why the refereeing team didn't feel like that warranted a penalty. And Simeone will talk about it, and rightly so, because if that Atletico get that penalty and they score, the tie changes completely. So if they're angry about that and they're upset about that, rightly so, because all you have to do is turn the tables. If you've got Chelsea fans maybe saying that wasn't a penalty, flip the switch. If that's on us, if that's Timo Werner getting pulled down in a box by, I don't know, Sal, for example, you're going to say that's a penalty. We can't have those double standards. I think it was a clear penalty, and something really uncanny for Aspilicueta to do that, especially in Champions League.
I think he just knew that he made a mistake. That pass was not, it was a bit short.
Yeah, he felt like he had to do something, but that's the only fault I have for Aspilicueta. Otherwise, another outstanding, it's a stellar performance from Aspilicueta. When we're playing against a pressing team, he doesn't seem phased ever. He's that defender who, apart from that pass, of course, that was maybe, I think not about press, but I think that was more a case of just sloppy play. But when you've got the attackers pressing him, really going in and trying to kind of phase him, he does not care at all. And he was exemplary in keeping our back three together. And the thing about Aspilicueta is, when we're playing in a back three, as a wing back, he's not good. He doesn't have the speed, he doesn't have the agility, he doesn't have the attacking prowess that Hudson-Odoi or James have to be able to fulfill that role. As a right centre-back, he is outstanding. There's a reason we've seen him play here under Lampard, under Tuchel, under Sarri, under Conte, because he can do a job there, because he's an excellent centre-back in that respect. And today, he proved himself again, another consistent performance. If you're looking to one player to really perform for you and lead by example, it's going to be Aspilicueta. And, it's so brilliant to see him still in the team and having an active role, because, of course, he lost his untouchable status in the Chelsea team under Lampard. And maybe that was, a changing of the guard, and I understand that. But Tuchel was very adamant to having him in that setup, not just because he's a good player and he's still got time and a lot to offer, but because he's the captain, and you want your captain, your leader, to be in that team. But today he was absolutely outstanding. And I believe, actually, he's the only player in that squad who was in our team when we last reached the Champions League quarterfinals in 2014. Wow. So he deserves it very much to be in that situation.
Brilliant. You know what? Yeah, as soon as Thomas Tuchel came, you guys all would have seen that interview from Thomas Tuchel. I think it was Rio Ferdinand with Thomas Tuchel, where Tuchel said that he came in and he's like, I need to reinstate the captain. The captain has to be the part of the team. He needs to feature, and he just gives that sort of that impression, that captain's in the team. So kudos to Aspilicueta. But 100% that's a penalty that we got away with it. Massive shout out to the live chat, 234 strong live right now. 2 things, guys, please do for me. Well, 3 things. Firstly, smash that like button. Secondly, Super Football shirts have a massive discount going on. 50% off, further 10% off with my code. Check out the description. You can see it in the banner as well. Get yourself a Rudiger jersey. Get yourself a Zouma jersey. Whatever you want. Check the description right now and go for it. Today is the day. Get yourself a Ziyech jersey as well. And obviously the panel right here, guys. I cannot stress enough how wonderful these people are. Go and follow them everywhere in the description. Nishal with his blogs. Taryn with his podcast, and obviously Jonathan with his YouTube. Go and follow them, everyone. Guys, thank you so much. Taryn, you should be proud. I called you Ziyech. That just shows what I have in my mind at the moment. Manhandle CFC, back again with another comment. Simeone scoffs when asked on Spanish TV whether it was penalty by Aspi on Carrasco. No, we are not looking for excuses. We were beaten by a better team. Thank you very much. Honestly, at the end of the day, look, it was a penalty. Whether that changes the match, probably does, because at that point it was 0-0. It would have been a very different match. But let's be honest, over the 2 legs, we were the better team, and he's right. No excuses. They're going through a bit of turmoil, actually, that particular team, with Real Madrid and Barcelona on their just behind them. If they miss out on the La Liga, that could be detrimental for Simeone. But Jonathan, let's talk about the 2 wing backs now. I want to talk to you about both of them together. Alonso, Reece James. For me, both of them had a very good game. Reece James going forward was fairly decent and defensively very strong. I think he muscled off a few of the players very nicely. Alonso as well, I must say, the experience, this is what I said. I think Thomas Tuchel will be using experience. No disrespect to Chilwell, very good player, but Alonso did a job today. Going forward, he was there whenever he could link up. But defensively, he was very strong as well. I must say, I can't fault him for anything. How did you see the match from our wing-backs?
The two wing-backs I wanted, I talked about in the preview, one more attacking in Alonso, someone that will join the attacks and be in the box when needed, which he did do at times. Put a few good balls into the box as well, got into some good positions. Pressed pretty high as well, because at that time on the left-hand side, you've got sometimes Havertz, Werner and Alonso pushing up really high, which forced Atletico Madrid to go long, which then allowed our centre-backs to sweep up, get it to Kovacic and Kante, and then get it out to the right, where we looked a lot more threatening, especially in the first half. I thought James, joined the attack really well, and Ziyech had a few balls that he switched out to him. Azpilicueta got a bit forward, and Azpilicueta and James sort of alternated as the free man. So yeah, the wing-back were always going to be vital positions in this game today, and I thought they both played really, really well. There's not too much I can say because, again, flawless, and the two that I would have picked by Tuchel. So yeah, the wing-backs are so important in our team, and when they perform well, it just makes things a lot easier when we can utilise that space. As I said, with Alonso so far forward, he's almost an inverted forward, as we've talked about before. So yeah, vital, these two players. I thought James sometimes got quite I would say he kind of did jump in a few times, but because he's so physical, he's able to then get back and get into position. So yeah, I don't want to criticise players on a night like this. I think players just need game time and consistent game time. And obviously James has been in and out of the side, but he's come in today on a big night and done really well. So yeah, Alonso just will keep continuing to perform on when needed. So there's not much more I can add on this guy.
No, honestly, sometimes it's good when we have not too much to say because they've just done their work and exactly what we needed in that particular match. Both of them were immense for us defensively and going forward as well, as we said, and as you said as well, Jonathan. Nishar, you wanted to talk about the double pivot. You're going to get to talk about the double pivot. They were fantastic. I want to give my 2 cents first for Kante. The man needs he needs a lifetime contract with Chelsea. I think he deserves a lifetime contract. He was phenomenal. The interceptions, every time he just destroyed their play, and the way the blockbuster runs as well. There was an opportunity in the second half where he went straight through the middle, dribbled past everyone, passed it on to, I believe it might have been Callum or Pulisic. I can't really remember now, but we didn't score off the back of that. And Kovacic, oh my God, he was so good throughout that particular match. Press resistant, turns, swivels, drives up. Many times he got fouled. Was able to give Atletico players a couple of yellow cards as well. Talk to me, man. Your time to shine.
They were my men of a match, Kante and Kovacic. I think every player was outstanding, top level, put in a brilliant performance. But that midfield pivot is what won us the game. Going up against Saul and Koke, two very talented midfielders, they had to win that battle. And missing Jorginho, who's been facing a lot of criticism, but is someone who's so important. I see you voted Rudiger man of the match. Anyway,
yeah,
Conte was my man of the match. Conte's my vote. Sorry, that threw me off. I was like, who's he voted for?
I think I was a little bit high.
Oh, you got excited. You got excited. No, Conte was my man of a match. But what really stood out to me is I go back to a Bayern Munich game, which is the last time we were at this sort of stage and level where we were completely outclassed. And the only player who looked comfortable and actually played well that day and over the tie was Mateo Kovacic. And we saw the exact same today. He was so comfortable. He'd lose the ball, he'd win it back, crunching tackles. He looks so at ease in these sort of games. He'll be in his criticism and he'll have his moments. But when it comes to the big stage, this is his bread and butter. And alongside N'Golo Kante, who was just absolutely magnificent today. We saw the very best version of Kante today, driving forward, making some brilliant runs, beautiful passes, covering every space. And what I like most of the interceptions, there was one moment in particular where, Atletico still had the ball. They hadn't even played it. And I could see Kante and I was like, he's going to intercept it. And I was just keeping my eye on him. Took the ball and I just laughed to myself. Just having that sort of player. And I will hold my hands up. In the past, I've questioned whether it's time to start looking at the future without Kante, with Billy Gilmore, with Ruben Loftus-Cheek comes back and sort of players. But today showed us why he is such a critical player, why Thomas Tuchel loves him so much. When N'Golo Kante and Mateo Kovacic complement each other so well, dominate a midfield like that.
I must say, Nishal, I loved Kante and Kovacic today. First time, I would say they looked proper quality double pivot. But yeah, go on, man.
No, absolutely, like you said. And we've spoken about Jorginho and Kovacic being a really dynamic in midfield. We're talking about Conte and Jorginho being more defensive. But Conte and Kovacic, it's just the pedigree. You've got a World Cup finalist, a Champions League treble winner. It's just unbelievable what we have at midfield, unlocked under Tuchel as well. Be having that double six, controlling the game. And what we saw from him today were one of our finest performances in a Chelsea shirt. And if we can keep that going, that's not to say Jorginho's out of it, because we know he still has a critical part in the team. But to know that we can be defensive and play Jorginho and Conte, we can go into big games playing Conte and Kovacic, we can go in our standard games with Jorginho and Kovacic, just having those options. And then that's ignoring Billy Gilmore, Mason Mount, all these other players who can play in these positions. It's incredible. And they were just outstanding. So Kovacic is a close second for me, but N'Golo Conte, man of a match by far.
No, for sure. I don't know why I was smoking. I think I got a bit too gassed about the Rudiger thing. Look, Rudiger played a fantastic game, but N'Golo Conte for sure. I have to agree that he definitely comes very close to man of the match. Guys, let me know who your man of the match is in the comments, live chat. Go berserk. Let us know who your man of the match was. Maldini's middle finger has found a new name, Covante. So there was Jovicic, now there's Covante. Very, very interesting. I do want to bring this up from Manhandle CFC. He's doing a great job. Wants to be a journalist, looks like. He's just going around getting all these quotes from everywhere. Tuchel on Kante. If you play with N'Golo, you have half a man more, because he has a volume that is simply outstanding. He's a big gift for me. Honestly, he's a man and a half. It's cheating. I would say Chelsea's cheating. They're playing with 11 and a half players against 11. So fantastic performance. Taryn, let's go to you now. Let's talk about Kai Havertz. Quick look over here. Kai Havertz, to the big results over 2 ties, is very, very happy. For me, that front three today combined very nicely. Kai Havertz, Timo Werner, Ziyech. But Kai Havertz's game, every game he's looking better and better, sharper and sharper. His movement is getting really, really good. Passing is getting good. Obviously, soon we're going to see those goals and assists come along as well. I'm very, very certain. Today, in this particular setup for Thomas Tuchel, he was fantastic. The way, at times where we allowed, Atletico Madrid to come at us, and he sort of held his position. And then as soon as we got the ball and broke, he was fantastic. How did you see his performance, Taryn?
But I think Kai Havertz was absolutely superb today, and I'm very happy to see it, because we've seen him play really well in that centre-forward role, the false 9 role, and now we've seen him play really well in that attacking 8 role. And I think that it's really good for him, because each game he's kind of improving more and more. From his illness, he's been really unlucky this season. From his injuries, he's come. I think he only had 5 days training with the team before the game against Brighton, so it's been really unfortunate for him. But yeah, today he was really sharp and really intense in between the lines. He was really quick off the mark, dropping in between the spaces, and really rattling Sal and Koke. I thought he did really well against Sal. I know there's been a lot of criticism about Sal. Maybe, he's been a little bit shaky in the last few years for Atletico Madrid. Jack Benson touching a bit, but Havertz has come into the team just recently. He's only played 3 games under Tuchel, 3-4 games in Tuchel. He's come in and he was absolutely superb. I thought he was flawless in his game. Maybe a few passes, a bit off the mark, but yeah, deputised Mason Mount really well. As I said before, that was a miss for us. He was the vocal point, who drops in, always there for the ball, drives his defenders, causes issues for the back line. And Havertz was in that role today, and he really played well and deputised Mason Mount. I really like this. He was getting the box for the cross a lot. I feel like Reece James maybe could have whipped in a few more, because we've seen Havertz. His aerial ability is really good, and he can do well. But yeah, we're seeing more and more improvement from this player. And we've seen him at Leverkusen. We can't fault his ability at all. Some fans are still coming back to that and saying, Havertz isn't good enough for Chelsea. It's that. Just shush, please, because Havertz is proving it every game by game. I know. I'm not looking at you, Jonathan. Every game by game, I'm not. I promise. But yeah, we're playing more and more. I'm really enjoying Havertz, and yeah, maybe he's had a really tough season, but I'm really enjoying the way he's playing. He looks really confident. He came out in an interview and said he's playing more confident. He's enjoying his football a little bit more. We're just going to see the best of Kai Havertz later on. He even said that, fans started to doubt him, but he's going to prove himself. And I really like how he's trying to believe in himself a little bit more. A few question marks raised of him, but I can't fault him. He played against a really strong physical Atletico team, showed his strength, showed his ability, and yeah, could have got a goal and assist today. That really would have, done really well for his pedigree at Chelsea. But yeah, really good performance from Havertz, and I possibly would say he was probably the fourth best player on the pitch behind the pivot and Rudiger. I still think Rudiger was a man of the match today, guys. I have to disagree with the fact. I think Rudiger was absolutely amazing. And
it was immense. It was immense.
He was amazing in this game. And Havertz was up there. And he was one of the players that anyone who's watching, there's probably millions of people watching this game today, they would have looked at Kai Havertz and said, you're one of the best players in this pitch full of stars, full of World Cup players, internationals. And it's really impressing me. And for more, I just need to see consistency with Kai. I need to see more game time. And it's a bit early to say, he's amazing and this, that. We need to see more consistency in the Premier League, in the Champions League. Then I'll be saying Havertz is the player that Jonathan really wants him to be and the player that I believe he can be as well. So let's go, Kai.
100%. Deep State, thank you, my man. Havertz is absolutely fired the last couple of matches. Goals will surely come soon. RJ, thank you, my man, for joining. Havertz for me was class throughout. His touches were sublime. The vision and execution to play some key passes amongst the Kante, Kovacic, and Rudy praises, etc. For me was silently a strong performer. 100% agree. This is what I like to see. Opposition fans coming to this channel and congratulating us. Kudos to the Leeds fan, Harry. Congrats from Leeds fan. Brilliant. Jonathan, let's now talk about Timo Werner. Timo Werner, as we've mentioned in the beginning stages, he was immense. But let's really, as I said, Khan's, I'm pretty sure Khan's still in this particular video. He always tells me that you always talk about his first touch. Today, I'm not going to talk about his first touch. I think it's time to really praise him. Those goals will come. Honestly, those goals will come. He will be clinical. But one thing I must say, Jonathan, his attitude and his, he never puts his head down. He always just gets up, gets going, works hard. Today, his work rate was something out of this world, Jonathan. I've never seen someone run non-stop and be so hungry. How did you see his performance?
Yeah, got the key assist today to set the tone for the game and allow us that freedom to control and be calm. So, yeah, he was good today. And to touch on Havertz, the reason Werner had that space in behind and had the ability to get, I'd say, on his own at times. And there was a few times where if he'd had support, maybe he could have switched it in and passed instead of shooting. But yeah, he was allowed to be sort of a free man because of Havertz dropping deep in that false nine role. So yeah, he was good today. He's had the momentum. He's had games. He just needs to add goals now. That's all he needs to do. It was better today. I mean, there was one time where his touch did let him down a little bit, which forced him wide, which I think was second half where he shot wide off the side netting. But yeah, he was good today. He caused them problems because they knew if they committed 20 men forward, he would always be there in behind to look for a ball over the top. There's a few times he did get in, as I said, tried to cross. Other than the goal, he just needs support because sometimes, because he's the furthest player forward, he looks up and doesn't see anyone. And then because sometimes he is then so wide, which he kind of takes up those positions in order to get space, he just needs someone on the end of it. So I would like to see Giroud paired with him a few times just because Giroud is going to be there in the box when Werner hits the byline or beats a man. Because the thing is, he's got space, he's got the pace to get in behind players and hurt. So he just needs a partner in crime sometimes. And he had that today for the goal, but just needed it another time. So, yeah, I think, as I said earlier, Havertz did help Werner and give him the space because he attracted the centre-back to come out, which then allowed him in behind. So, yeah, and to touch on Havertz as well, terrific today. I thought under the radar, as RJ said, he was kind of a silent performer today, moved around, glided around the pitch at times and linked up play really nicely. It allowed Kante to get ahead of him, Ziyech to get ahead of him, Werner to get ahead of him, Alonso to get ahead of him because he dropped so deep. Yes, sometimes that means there's no man in the box, but it just means that centre-backs can never get comfortable. And that's another reason why Atletico Madrid never settled today. And one last thing, and I always go off on a tangent, but to touch on Kante, Nishal broke it down really, really well. I'm glad he spoke on the subject, spoke really, really well on it. But two things for Kante for me. One, rest and rotation. It means that when he plays that high intensity level that he does, he's fresh and he's able to, because he's seemingly got rid of those injuries because he's been able to come back into this team slowly. Number two, as I've said so many times, he's playing in the position that we can get the most effectiveness from him. So, yeah, really, really good. And Werner, yeah, not too much we can say. I'd say the only drawback is that he just needs to start adding goals to his game. But as we get a better attacking unit and we start converting chances, those goals will come for sure.
No, I agree. Taron just hanging there. Timo Werner is going to bang in those goals, and that jersey is going to come.
Yeah, there's not many games left to get that jersey, and I'm sure Miz won't extend that to 2022.
Bro, there's like 15 games left, bro. It's enough. It's enough.
You're going to get that one of these days. Timo Werner is going to score that winning goal. We're going to get there. Nishal, let's talk about the subs. Not going to spend too much time about talking every single substitution, but we will talk about the enigma. The enigma. Emerson. I mean, 2 left backs came in the second half. Obviously, Chilwell came in, and then Emerson came in. And then we saw that really good counter from us where Emerson slotted that goal in brilliantly. What were your thoughts? I mean, did you expect Emerson and Chilwell to come in that second half with Thomas Tuchel's substitutions?
I should find a photo of me and Emerson from a few years back. Just pull it up, then backing you from day one. Very interesting. I mean, look, when you look at our substitutes, they were our only defenders on the bench, so it made sense to bring them on late on, kill some time. I didn't expect Emerson to score. I'll be really honest. Seeing him bomb down, acres of space, and we saw actually a few occasions where exactly that happened. But with Hudson-Odoi, and he missed 1, 2, 3 chances, and
we should have scored.
We should have, yeah. And I was getting very frustrated. Comes to Emerson, bombing down, runs onto it perfectly, and just.
By the way, that was his first touch. That was his first touch of the game.
Right. And you know what? He will never have a better touch. That is his crowning moment at the club, 100%. Think of Raul Morelos against Benfica. That's Emerson's Morelos moment. Just unbelievable finish to really seal the game, wrap it up. Great for him to come on. Chilwell as well. Both of them in terms of the actual game playing, they didn't really have anything to do. It was kind of just playing, seeing out the game. But Emerson to get forward and get that goal was really good. And it's also interesting when we look at a left back dilemma. Obviously, this game won't be decisive. We're not going to go off 2 minutes for Chilwell and a goal from Emerson. But we have 3 left backs on our squad, which is too much. Someone's going to have to give way. Now, we think it'd be Emerson, but when he can do stuff like that, coming on with his first touch, sending us into Champions League quarterfinals, it's not a bad player to have in your ranks and in your team. But on the other hand, I do think he's at a stage of his career where he needs to be playing regularly, and he can be. Yeah. So I think maybe a move to Italy would do him well. But it's interesting to look at what are we going to do with these left backs.
Shout for Emerson to start in the FA Cup? Shout for Emerson to start in the FA Cup?
Or against Sheffield United?
Yeah.
I'm going to say no, and here's why, right? We've got that game on Sunday, so we've got four days until that. Then we've got the international break, and that's 2 weeks until our next game. We might as well go full out for that game. There's no point. There's nothing to rest or rotate for because we haven't got a game soon after. The German players aren't going anywhere. Havertz, Rudiger, and oh God, I've forgotten the third one. Havertz, Rudiger, Werner.
Werner.
Left my mind. Sorry. So they're not going. We might as well go full strength. Play Kepa as a cup goalkeeper. That's fine. But go full strength. Go all out. How often? Yes, we were there last season, but it's not every day where you get an opportunity to reach the FA Cup semi-final with the luxury of an international break straight after, with the luxury of being unbeaten in 13 games, having conceded twice, and that's it. So go full strength is the long one. So the short answer is, go Alonso, Chilwell, whoever's probably Alonso, I'd say, but go full strength, go for it.
No, look, I completely understand what you're saying. Go full strength, get yourself into the semi-final. It's still, we need to take that game seriously. I wouldn't be surprised if Emerson gets an opportunity here. But then again, where does he play? Does he play where Chilwell plays? And Alonso probably get a break now in that Sheffield United game. But then you'd have to give Chilwell an opportunity. Yeah, does Emerson come in as a left centre back? But I get your point. Maybe not.
Can I make a point on Alonso's not in the Spain squad? So he's got nothing to be rested for. There are so many players in this squad because of restrictions with the virus, because of injuries, because of everything, that they're not going to be going away for 2 weeks. So, Alonso doesn't need a rest now. He's in form. He's doing well. He'll flourish against Sheffield United. Play Alonso. Play Azpi. Play Kovacic. Play, all of these players. We might as well go for it. It's not a case of, I don't see this as a game where we should be resting and rotating because it is a big game and it's another game we need to focus on. We have a luxury of having 2 weeks off. Go all out for it. That's my answer.
No, for sure. Stormzy here with a question. Who do you guys think we're going to get in the quarters? Look, obviously this is going to be a show on its own. We've got the boys tomorrow. Taron's going to be here. We've got a Liverpool fan coming in, a Dortmund fan coming in, a Bayern Munich fan coming in. It's going to be madness in this channel tomorrow, UK 7 p.m. Check in where we're going to talk about who we want in this particular next. So yeah, we've got the Bundesliga covered, we've got Premier League covered, and obviously the Chelsea boys are going to be there. So please do check in UK 7 p.m. tomorrow. Going to be a madness in this show. So Stormzy, do bring in your pals and obviously come by yourself as well. 212 people on live right now. Oh my days! Yes. Massive victory for Chelsea. Please look at the description for Super Football shirts. They are giving away, a massive discount, 50% discount, 10% with my code as well. Check it out in the description. Go out there and buy yourself a jersey today. Really good discounted prices. Ziyech jersey, Werner jersey, Havertz, whatever you want, get it all. Kepa, I don't know, maybe you like Kepa. Get yourself a Kepa jersey as well. You might like that. Taron, my boy, let's now take the opportunity to round things up with everyone. I want to take a moment to talk about Thomas Tuchel. I think this guy has done a bit of madness for us. Honestly, from where we were, from where he has taken us, 2 goals conceded, no goals conceded at all against Atletico Madrid over 2 legs. I mean, if someone said this to you, Taron, before the leg started, said you guys are going to go through in aggregate 3-0, they won't score a goal, what would your response be to that particular remark?
You're not crazy and you're a genius and you're a football journalist like Charles Schrager Patel. I think you'll be a genius if you can predict that because, yeah, it's understandable that Tuchel's come in and started from the back, moving forward. And we're already starting to see that attacking fluidity. We saw it today. Perfect counter-attack with 3 great players. I'm just so happy for Tuchel. I was not expecting such a great instant impact from a coach to come in mid-season. Maybe the only coach I can remember that's happened mid-season, maybe Hansi Flick last year at Bayern Munich. Apart from that, I haven't seen many managers come in and have such a magnificent impact on so many players in the squad. And yeah, it's just been such a refreshing take since he's come in. We've seen a lot of the fringe players come back in. We've seen a nice defensive attacking also at the same time, balanced style of football. So I'm really happy with Tuchel. And to answer the question, Miz, yeah, I wouldn't say you're crazy to predict that at the start of the game. I wasn't even scared to come up against Felix and Suarez. That's how confident I am right now. 2 great players. If he came up against maybe, Man City's front line, that's probably the only team I'd be scared. Even Bayern Munich, right now, on the current form we're in, I would not be petrified at Leroy Sané, Serge Gnabry. At the minute, I don't think I would be as much as last season. I know Jonathan is not agreeing with me, but that's just how I feel at the minute, and I can't really change that. So, yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling with Thomas Tuchel. I'm really gassed at the minute, and just long may it continue. I want to see more results like this, but the run-in is going to be so crucial. If we I said it before in another preview, if we go out and lose some of these, let's say, smaller games, the West Brom, Sheffield United, hopefully we don't, then all of our good work, every game is 3 points, every game is qualification to the next round of a cup competition. So we need to keep staying focused and not, I'd say, go off the ground, our feet off the ground too much. We need to stay a bit grounded at the end of the season. A lot of fans are getting a bit carried away saying Tuchel's like the best manager in our history just because of his start. But let's just relax a bit and say he's had a wonderful start, a magnificent, flawless start as Chelsea manager. 13 games unbeaten, 2 goals. But let's just continue it at the minute. Let's just wait till the end of the season. And when we finish, second in the league, hopefully with an FA Cup win, and I'm just procrastinating here. I'm not saying we are going to do these things. So, I don't get egg on my face as usual. But yeah, hopefully we can get to the Champions League, find the Champions League, find the FA Cup, high in the Premier League. And then we'll say Thomas Tuchel is going to go quite far with us and improve next season with new signings, with time with the players in pre-season, with work with the current players. So I just think it's going to go up, hopefully, from now. And I don't want to see any negative energy from the fan base saying stuff about the previous management team. Let's focus on Tuchel and what he's going to do with these players, the young players in our team, the experienced players. It's a good balance in the minute. And, yeah, let's just keep going with Tuchel. I'm really happy with him. And, yeah, let's just keep going.
100%. We do need to stay grounded. I just want to bring this up. This is so beautiful, guys. Look at this. Match report from Chelsea. This picture. I mean... this just does me, honestly. Thomas Tuchel with Azpilicueta. Azpilicueta's hand is, it's been broken for so long now, and you can just see how much it means to everyone, and obviously to these 2 particular individuals. Nishal, just before I get to that, I just want to talk about this. Thank you, Jonathan, once again. Are we not talking about Ziyech? Tuchel says one reason he chose Ziyech today was because he has played in the Champions League semi-finals with Ajax. We did say yesterday in the preview, some of the guys was talking about Ziyech, and we said that the only reason I could see Ziyech starting is obviously because of his experience. When you look at the form, probably someone like Callum Hudson-Odoi probably deserved it. But look, I'm glad that Tuchel went with experience, and Ziyech, he came up trumps, scored that brilliant goal. And to all the live chat people, if you've missed out on our discussion about Ziyech, please look back. We did talk a lot about Ziyech and his goal and his performance. Hence why we didn't touch too much on it in the player performance area. But do look back in the beginning. There was a lot of talk about Ziyech. Nishal, my man. Thomas Tuchel. I mean, yes, we need to be grounded. Yes, there's still a lot to play in the Premier League. We're not confirmed yet in the top 4. But this particular victory over the 2 legs, so far we've played some really, really good games. But this over the 2 legs probably go down as one of the most comprehensive Champions League sort of victory that we've had so far against a quality opposition. Obviously, since 2014, we've now gone through. Talk to me about Thomas Tuchel, my man.
What a man to make that sort of impact, to come in 13 games unbeaten, to single-handedly transform a team in that manner with no new signings, no new players, a day to prepare before you got stuck into it. I can't speak highly enough of Tuchel, and especially what's been a really difficult few months for the club, having to let go of, one of our sons, to accepting a new manager. You cannot be in enough praise for him. He's been absolutely outstanding. He's changed the team. He's been a joy to watch and speak to and listen to and be around, because he's just someone that you want to listen to, and you want to, listen to his interviews, his press conferences, all of it. He's such an intelligent and motivated man, and you listen to him and he wants to succeed and he wants the very best for us. And I've said it multiple times, but we're just getting started. We're 3 months, not even 2 months into Tuchel's reign, and we're in a Champions League quarter-final. We're a game away from the FA Cup semi-final. We're in the top 4. Compare that to all the other managers and all the other times we've had. Of course, we don't want to compare him massively, but the last manager I can think who started this well at Chelsea, Mauricio Sarri, when he went unbeaten in the league until November. And of course, that ended in silver with Europa League. So Tuchel deserves all the praise, all the success. And let's not forget how his last European campaign ended in the Champions League final. So he knows how to do it. He knows how to get to that final stage. And the future is so bright with Thomas Tuchel. And I cannot wait to see what lies ahead.
Nah, me neither. 270 people live right now. Jonathan, we will let you finish things off. But before that, this is what I tweeted not that long ago. February 20, 2021, the Wizard will return, and you will all be in awe again, I believe, in Hakim Ziyech. As I said, February 20, today is the 3rd, 18th of the 3rd. I mean, this man, hopefully he has turned it around now. Jonathan, from your side, Thomas Tuchel, praise what you got to say. And obviously with the upcoming match against Sheffield United in the FA Cup, lots to still play. Top 4 not secured as yet. FA Cup, we want to win. Champions League, good luck to anyone that draws against us. We are going to bring the game at them. What's your thoughts?
Can you hear me? I'm not quite sure my internet is working.
Yeah, okay, we can hear you now.
You can.
I'm not.
We can hear
my
you.
Wi-Fi has completely messed up at the wrong time. Yeah,
we can hear
hopefully
you.
You can hear me now. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. For me, Tuchel has been an absolute breath of fresh air since he's come in. His man management, the way he's got the squad hungry, playing as a team. Each person knows, as I've said it so many times before, in the system that we have, each role, each player knows what they have to do and what is expected of them. So yeah, it has just been a dream to watch, and to come in and to understand the situation and to know the targets and to kind of just drag us from. We were in really bad form. We were only going one way, and to completely turn around our form and to play like we have done now has been a complete contrast before. And again, this is nothing against how we've been in previous management. It's just the fact that Tuchel has done so well. So yeah, absolute breath of fresh air. Everything he's touched has turned to gold. I just think tactically, he's just so aware. The way he switched things in game, post, pre-game, the way he speaks to the media, like Nishal said, absolutely brilliant. And I look forward to listening to him. I look forward to every game as a Chelsea fan. So looking forward to much more.
No, 100%. 100%. Guys, that pretty much wraps us up with this review. I'll leave you with this particular picture. Hakim Ziyech, just look at his hands out wide. 2-0 victory. What a performance. Guys, 288 people on. 3 things. Firstly, smash that like button. It helps the channel out a lot. The channel is growing, so thank you so much for every support, all the support that you guys have been doing for us. So please smash that like button. Secondly, check out the link in the description for Super Football jerseys. They've got massive discounts at the moment. Replica Chelsea jerseys, honestly, almost as good as real. Check out some of the pictures of people that have got it. Almost as good as real. Get yourself massive discounts. Use my code for further 10% discount. I think somewhere around 20, 29, 28 pounds it comes out to be. You can put someone's name in the jersey. You can put Ziyech, whoever you want. So get yourself out there and get that jersey and really get in on the act. And lastly, guys, 300 people has just clocked in right now in this live chat. Take a moment to go and follow Nishal and his blog. I want his blog to do really well. 300 people, go out there and just spam his blog right away, right now. This is what you're going to do. Follow him and spam his blog. Follow my main man, Jonathan, and his YouTube channel. Taryn with his podcast as well, guys. Please, put it as a favorite somewhere. Everything is in the description right now, guys. Once again, what a magnificent victory. Thank you to each and every one of you guys. And before I go as well, please subscribe to the channel if you're new. I keep forgetting to do that, and Jonathan always reminds me at the end. So please do that. Until next time, everyone, take care and see you.